Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. A quick announcement on our Selenium Java training bootcamp, and we are starting a regular batch from 27th March 2025. And the timings this time 6:30 a.m. IST. If you are in US, 9 p.m. EST or 8 p.m. CST, registrations are already open. Please, if you really want to attend this bootcamp, this will take around 3 months of course because it's a very lengthy course, and then some amazing things that we have added, and we are going to cover Java, Selenium, and then Selenium core features, Selenium end-to-end framework, page object model design pattern. There are other design patterns also we have included this time with proper end-to-end project and then framework that we are going to develop, and then a lot of things with respect to DevOps also we are going to cover. That's why I have clearly written infrastructure setup and the DevOps, which is very much required, like Docker, AWS, Kubernetes, and then Git repositories, Maven, Jenkins, Nexus, CI/CD, GitHub Actions. There are like so many things that we have added this time for this particular bootcamp. So if you have not registered, please go and register for this amazing bootcamp. We had like amazing success stories from the previous trainings from the previous bootcamps. Now, quickly announce this is the complete registration form that you can go and check it here. These are the timings every day, Monday to Thursday. If you are in India, it will be Monday to Thursday. If you are in US, it will be Sunday to Wednesday. And then for India, 6:30 a.m. IST till 8 o'clock. Because 6:30 to 7:30 we take the session, and then last half an hour to 45 minutes every day we take the doubts. We never leave any doubts in between. Okay, each and every doubt should be cleared on the same day. If still you miss any doubt, you can ask next day or you can mail me also with the screenshot, but we never miss any single doubts from the students. If you are in US, 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. PST US time, and or 8 p.m. CST US time, that also you can just simple do it here. There will be two demo sessions. You attend it. If you like it, it's fine. If you don't like it, your first registration amount will be refunded back to you. So this is a registration form and all the fee details that is already given. It's very simple, very straightforward process. Candidate in India and the USA. Accordingly, the payment plans are available. You can go and check it over there. But I would quickly go through the course content, that what exactly the course content. But before that, I'll tell you one thing here. People were asking that, okay, Naveen, do I really need to learn Selenium if I'm coming from the manual testing background, or if I'm coming from, let's say, non IT background or coming from the non automation background, then what should I do? Or I'm a fresher. See, guys, this is a recent poll on my YouTube post also. What's your favorite choice for the web UI automation in 2025? 65% people are still preferring Selenium. Selenium is going crazy in the market right now. Selenium with Java because of its stability, cross-browser testing, and then support for n number of features with respect to web automation. It's available. That's why Selenium is the first choice, especially in the most of the big projects, most of the product-based companies, and most of the startups also, where especially with the product-based companies where the frameworks are already developed in Selenium and they really don't want to move to some other technology. So this is the market observation. That's why Selenium with Java is having the highest number of jobs in the market. No doubt, Playwright is having some extra edge with respect to, let's say, API automation. Playwright can do that, or maybe some extra stuff with respect to CDP protocol. It's using it internally. That's why it's doing that. But now Selenium is actually introduced with the W3C WebDriver BiDi protocol. This is the game changer in the market for Selenium, right? So we'll talk about, like in training also, we'll talk about what is W3C WebDriver, what kind of protocols, what are the standards and the guidelines are defined, why Selenium is so popular still in the market after 20 years also, why Selenium is so relevant in the market. So you see that here, the 65% people are saying for Selenium, Cypress, and other AI agents, or maybe others as well. Okay. Now, quickly come back to this course content. This training is purely based on Java. Although Selenium Python also, or Selenium with C Sharp also, or other language bindings also, no doubt equally good. But Selenium with Java is the best combination in the market with respect to job opportunities. Majority of the projects are available in the market. They are using Selenium with Java here, especially in India, if you are in India, or in US also here. I'm not saying Python is bad or this language is bad. Equally good, no doubt about it. There are some really good projects available with Selenium and Python also. But let's see, you think about, you are a very fresher, and then you are having no idea about Selenium or any automation tool. And if you're learning Selenium with one XYZ language, which is after 3 months of course, after 3 months of efforts and everything, if you're not getting opportunities and the call in the market, then you will be disappointed unnecessary. So in that case, my advice is that start with Selenium with Java. work in these kind of projects with Selenium Java or end-to-end framework development in Selenium. And then after that, the number of doors will be opened for you for the next opportunities. Because Selenium will teach you that how to learn automation, how to work in automation. Because in Selenium, it's a raw library. Everything is available is in the form of APIs, in the form of methods. You have to customize it. If you really want to click on the specific button or element or something, then you have to customize it that, okay, how exactly I can click with, you know, proper exception handling, proper error handling with the proper weight and proper other strategies also I can introduce over there with the proper implicitly weight or explicitly weight also in the generic method that I can create it here. So this is what Selenium provides at Beauty so that if you are learning Selenium from zero, from the scratch, then you will never face any kind of problem in the automation with other automation tools also in the future. That's why, like you see, people who actually learn Selenium, it was so easy for them to learn other automation tools like Playwright or Cypress or something like that, right? So my training is always purely based on programming language first. I will never jump to Selenium directly. So around 25 to 26 sessions only for Java we will cover in the beginning first. This is what then you will learn Selenium properly. Then you will get the confidence that, okay, yeah, I'm writing the code. I don't need to memorize the code. This is so bad habit that, okay, I'll just take the code from ChatGPT or some just memorize the code. And then at a time of interview, someone is asking, we say, yeah, this is how it works. No, that should not be the reason. We should have a proper reason behind that. Why are we writing the specific code? If I'm writing something in Selenium, there should be a reason behind that. And the reason you will understand if you are really good in your programming fundamentals or Java fundamentals here. So that's why Java plays a very, very important role with Selenium. So in my training as well, right? So core Java, we have added this time a lot of new things with respect to Java 17 and 11 also. More advanced topic with respect to Lambda and the streams, although we have already covered in the previous boot camps. But this time we have added some more advanced topics, plus all the basics. If you're at zero line in Java, we'll start from -1, right? If you are very poor in Java or very basic knowledge of Java, trust me, after this, you will get your confidence in Java to that level for sure. So this is what we have planned. I have not written each and every topic here, but most of the important bullet points that I have written, like basics of data types, variable, string, and everything. But it's not like when to use switch case, when to use if else, or simple theory that we are covering. It's like what exactly the practical use case in Selenium or in your automation framework, in which scenario or in which use case that you are going to use this particular programming concept. This is how we have to learn Java properly for the system design point of view, for the architecture point of view, for the fundamental framework fundamental point of view. Also, we have to learn Java for that. We have to improve our Java concepts accordingly. It's not like only theory we are covering or some boring PPTs we are covering and then memorizing the fundamentals or definitions. No, there should be a reason behind that. If I'm asking you what do you mean by encapsulation and how exactly encapsulation is different from the abstraction, what is the difference between abstract class or the interface? Can you tell me one real-time example where exactly you have implemented in your framework? You should know the answer for that. You should justify that answer for that. This is what it will make you different from others, right? So that's why we have divided into first part is all the basics of Java, and then a lot of object-oriented programming that we are going to cover it over. So, what do you mean by exception handling? Inheritance, polymorphism, is a relationship, encapsulation, data hiding, right? And then n number of things: method overloading, method overriding, has a relationship, super keyword, this keyword, abstract classes, interfaces, n number of concepts are available in object-oriented programming in Java that we have to cover with the practical knowledge, with the practical experience. That this is how you can justify your experience at the time of interview, right? It's not like only basic definition that we are aware of it and we don't know how to use and when to avoid. That's very, very important thing at a time of interview as well, right? So these are the things that we have written. A lot of collections API. This time we have added not only array list hash map, but this time we have added set also, hash table also, linked hash map also, and then advanced collections also with respect to a map and the streams that also we have added here. So like after this Java, trust me, you don't need to learn any other Java concept. That is like more than enough for your test automation journey. You don't need to learn about advanced Java like Spring Boot and all those things. Why? Because it's not needed for us. We are not going to develop the application. We are going to test the application by using the test automation framework. For that, we need a core Java skills. Everyone should have those skills in your portfolio. And once the Java part is completely done, then we will move to the Selenium part. Then you will get the confidence. Then you will see that, okay, yeah, this is okay. Now this is the reason behind that. This is the concept of topcasting or downcasting. Why we are writing a WebDriver equal to new Chrome driver? What is the reason behind that? How to create a generic function? How to create a wrapper function? How to create number of utilities and everything, right? Most of the people, they do a mistake. What they do, they directly jump to the framework, or they directly jump to the Selenium without using Java or without covering Java. You will not get the level of confidence. They just memorize the code. Okay, our driver equal to new Chrome driver, but what is the reason behind that? Why are we doing this? What is the concept behind that? What kind of hierarchy and the structure, and what is the combination or integration that we are using internally between class to interface? On the basis of that, we have to write the code. If you have that knowledge, then Selenium or any automation tool, you will learn like anything. It will be like so smooth, it will be so easy. Your confidence will always be high. But if you are lacking in the basic core concept, then you will always struggle while writing the code. You won't be able to understand someone's code also, because let's see, tomorrow you are going for a project and then joining a new company where automation projects are available, and then you have to debug their code. You have to understand their code. If you have knowledge, then only you can understand that, then only you can just debug their code. But if you don't have much knowledge about it, or the programming concepts and the Selenium concept, then you will always and always struggle over there, right? So that's why that the basics of Java, basics of Selenium core features are very, very important here. Okay, we will never jump to the framework part directly here. So we are going to use Eclipse and IntelliJ both. Some part we will cover in Eclipse, some part we will cover in IntelliJ. And then the all the basics of core features of Selenium. This is how we learn any automation tool. Cover scenario by scenario. What do you mean by browser? What do you mean by web element, XPath, CSS? You won't believe we have 5 sessions only for XPath and CSS. I'll make you genius in XPath and CSS that you will never use any kind of plugin tool or any kind of XYZ tool. You will write your XPath by your own. Either it is XPath access, sibling XPath, parent XPath, child XPath, preceding sibling, following sibling, or whatever, right? Backward traversing or any kind of web table, complex to complex web table also, you will be able to create your own CSS in the XPath. Not only in XPath, but I'll make you master in the CSS also, that when to use what is the purpose of the CSS selector to as compared to XPath, or what is the benefit of XPath as compared to CSS. We will talk about that. Not like only basics of XPath or CSS. No, it's not like, okay, take this basic XPath, just simple remember this, or just copy paste from some plugin. No, we are not going to use that, right? And we never copy paste the code in our training. We always write the code during the session in front of you. Maybe some templates, maybe some XML file or dependency, then only we copy paste. Otherwise, the Java program, we never ever copy. And then we always write the code during the session, within the session, so that you will get the feel that, okay, yeah, this is how we write the method and the functions and the logic, what to return, what not to return, how to create a utilities and everything. This is how we have to learn it here. I'll give you an example. See this, for example, this is a thing in Selenium that, let's see, for example, this is the element and I really want to click on this particular element. So how will you click? Driver dot find element. If you know Selenium, let's see basics of Selenium, driver dot find element dot click. No, this is not the right way. Driver dot find element dot send keys in this particular text fields. No, this is not the right way of working in real-time projects. What we do, if this is my click method, on top of click method, I'll create my own wrapper. It means I'll create my own generic function like this. In this particular generic function, I'll be writing n number of things. I'll be writing, okay, with the proper trackage, proper error handling, proper wait condition that I'm going to write, proper other checks also that I'm going to perform it here. And once all these checks are done, then only I'll check element is really, let's see, visible and the clickable also or not. Then only I'll perform the click operation on that. So instead of writing the driver dot find element, I'll be calling my own click method. Let's see, this is my Naveen click method, Naveen click. So I'll be writing Naveen click method and I'll supply the parameters or arguments here that, okay, yeah, this is the element property and this is what I really want to perform this particular button or element or whatever. I'll supply the data from here. And then internally it is actually calling Selenium click method. Same thing if I ask you, okay, what do you do with the send keys method? For send keys method also, we will do the same thing. If this is my send keys method is used to enter the value in the text field. But I'll create my own custom utility on top of that, a wrapper on top of that. First of all, I'll do a lot of checks. Is it really supporting the string buffer? Is it really supporting the string builder also, or normal string also, or null check also, or the blank string also, empty string also, with the proper exception handling, with the proper error handling? Other than that, I'm going to check the proper weight conditions also with the explicitly weight, or let's see with the WebDriver weight, or with the fluent weight or implicitly weight also we can apply. So we will see that, okay, how to write the custom exceptions and everything over here. And the custom weight also we can apply if element is available, and then all the checks are done, then we will perform the send keys in a particular text field. We will never write the plain code, because in real time projects things are totally different. We never write the plain code like driver dot find element dot send keys. No, we will create our own send keys method. Let's see, this is my Naveen send keys method here. So I'll be calling Naveen send keys method. Naveen send keys method will call this internal send keys method provided by Selenium here. So this is like one of the simple utilities that I'm giving you an example. This is how we learn the automation tools. Tomorrow you're learning Cypress also or Playwright also. This is the expectation. This is what people are expecting at the time of interview also from you, or at the time of real-time projects also from you. So that's why the whole Eclipse, I mean, sorry, her whole WebDriver concepts that we have written here is actually designed in that way. Like each and every topic, almost everything we are going to cover with respect to WebDriver 4. Remember Selenium 4.x we are going to cover. We never covered Selenium 3.x from last 5 years, or especially 3 to 4 years. The moment Selenium 4 was there in the market, from the day one, we are using Selenium 4 in the training. And we always use the latest version of Selenium, whatever new things are there in the market. In Selenium 4 also, there are so many things happened in Selenium 4. Let's say Selenium Manager is one of the biggest concept. What do you mean by W3C WebDriver? What do you mean by WebDriver BiDi? What do you mean by relative locators? The new architecture came into the picture. New Selenium Grid also in the market now. So we have to use those things with respect to latest and the new technologies or new features that they have given. On the basis of that, we have to complete the course and we have to learn the things, right? So that's why it's written that what are the different things are available in the Selenium 4.x version. So this is a couple of people were asking about this query, right? Naveen, are you going to cover 3 or 4? Obviously 4.x. If someone is still covering 3, they are doing it wrong with you. Trust me, we should not learn Selenium 3. You should not learn Selenium RC in the IDE also here. Focus on the WebDriver 4.x version. This is the most important thing you have to learn here. So a lot of things, let's see, WebDriver interface, browser navigation commands, web element commands, locators. As I mentioned that, okay, XPath CSS, I'll make you perfect in XPath and CSS. What is the difference, when to use what, right? And some out of the box scenarios also, very complex to complex scenarios also. It's not like, okay, yeah, one simple login page and then just enter the username, password, and then done. No, it's not like that, because in real time, things are totally different. Maybe there is a jQuery drop down. Maybe there is a for example, let's see, Bootstrap drop down, or maybe React or Angular drop down. And the application is so complex. The DOM structure is very, very complex, and not able to understand at which locator when to use what, right? So what is the best strategy for that? This is how the real-time applications are designed these days. And we have to make sure that, okay, our locators are very smart. So locators are the most important concept. Does not matter that how good you are in programming. If you are lacking in the locator strategy part, you are not able to write the right locator, then in that case it will always be a problem, because you have written amazing for loops and if conditions and proper logic coding and everything, but if you are lacking in this part, then it will be a problem, right? So locators, we will cover element identification techniques. There are so many techniques with the debugger, with the freezing the element, freezing the DOM, and then how to inspect that element in Chrome also, Firefox also, and the Edge browser also. We are going to cover that. Table checkboxes, radio buttons, Selenium weights, amazing chapter. Still, like a lot of people, they don't understand proper weight in Selenium. Okay, although we don't have auto weight, but we can create our own auto weight, in Selenium, because this is what the beauty of Selenium, that if you are writing, really want to interact with the element, Selenium says we are not going to wait for that element. If you really want to create, you can create that. Okay, so what I'll do in that case, let's say I'll create my own find element method. So let's see, this is my find element method here, right? And when I call this particular find element method, I'll create another wrapper on top of it. Let's see, this is my wait for element method. I'll create that. And whenever Selenium or any user is using that particular method, so I'll be using wait for element method. I'm going to use it. This wait for element user, waiting it and then finding the element and then giving me the web element and then done, right? So why don't we create our own utility like this? So yes, of course we can create that, and then this is going to help you a lot while learning the proper Selenium weights here. Concept like alerts, switch windows, how many alerts are there? Either it is pop-up or JavaScript pop-up or model dialog or advertisement pop-up or random pop-ups, browser window pop-up, new tab, new window. A lot of things are added in Selenium, and with the full support, we are going to cover with some amazing examples here. Then actions class, like one of the best important topic and my favorite topic, actions class, like all the keyboard and the mouse actions, move to element, double click, drag and drop, right click, signatures. If you really want to perform a signature on the specific text area or something like that, that also you can do it. All the keyboard actions, accessibility testing also now we can do with the actions class. We can check the proper tab sequence and everything. That also we can perform with Selenium here. Okay. And then the browser profiling with the different Chrome options, browser options, Firefox options are available, like headless mode, incognito mode. And then what are the different other options which are available to control the browser or to configure the browser, we can use it here. And there are not of n number of complex scenarios. This time we have added, you see that handle the Ajax component. Let's see, you go to crickinfo.com and Virat Kohli is playing on 49, right? Or 99. Let's see, for example. So after 2 minutes, the scorecard, let's see, will be 100. So entire page is not getting refreshed. Only that particular element is getting refreshed. So let's see, these are like Ajax components. So how to wait for a specific element or Ajax component? This plays a very important role in Selenium or in test automation. We have to wait for a specific element, not for the entire page. So how to provide the proper fluent wait, proper you will like proper explicitly wait in the form of a driver wait with the proper polling and everything. Handle complex scenarios like calendars. Let's say I really want to select next year 2025 26 March 2026. I really want to book a flight on goibibo.com or makemytrip.com. So how will you handle these calendars? What kind of logic that you are going to write? Because there is no direct method available in the test automation tool in Selenium. We have to create our own custom method for that. So we will say, okay, yeah, maybe it could be a while loop, so that we will click on the next, and the next month is coming. So click on next button, and then once March 2026 is available, then uh, we will stop the while loop and break the while loop, right? So these are the logics that we have to develop here. Same thing, let's see, handle with the pagination, handle with the page loading, like infinite page scrolling on LinkedIn, Facebook, or food delivery. So page loading like infinite scrolling, for example, you go to LinkedIn and keep scrolling down, and then the moment you see Naveen's post, then you have to like it and then break the loop. Like that. Simple, you go to Zomato, Swiggy, keep scrolling down once you see your favorite restaurant or favorite dish, and then stop the scrolling. All right. So this is the concept of the especially single page application or the infinite scrolling concept here. Complex shadow DOM, which is like really crazy sometimes in the application, and then how to handle it. What do you mean by SVG element? What do you mean by complex frames? And the iframes, there are nested iframes also available, especially let's see on Salesforce application, right? So how to handle it? There are 3 or 4 levels of frames are available. How to handle that? Complex pseudo elements. We will see that, okay, the elements which are made with you, have you seen that colon colon before or colon colon after? Those kind of elements also we can handle it. Page weight use cases, element weight use cases, when to use what, when to wait for the entire page, the page is completely loaded or not, page is really in the interactive mode, or page is completely still loading or completely loaded. These are the 3 states that we are going to cover with the page weight or element weight also, not for the entire page but only for the specific web element. What is the right way of creating your own custom weight, or maybe using the Selenium weight, right? Maybe Selenium weight is not working, then we have to write our own custom weight in that case. So we have to cover all these complex UI scenarios. This is how the interview will happen. Interviewers will ask these kind of questions. No one is going to ask the basics of Selenium these days, right? You should know what do you mean by session ID, what do you mean by architecture of Selenium, how exactly Selenium is interacting with the browser, what kind of internally REST APIs are getting called. So I'll show you. you know we are writing driver dot find element or driver equal to new Chrome driver or driver dot get and give the URL, but internally these are the REST APIs. I'll show you those APIs in the Postman. Although we are not doing any API automation here, but I'll show you that internally in the background, in the backend, these are the APIs are getting executed. That's why the browser is getting launched. That's why we are able to launch the URL, or we are able to find the element and click on that element. Everything is available in the form of REST APIs. And these APIs are developed on the basis of W3C WebDriver protocol or WebDriver BiDAR protocol. In Selenium 3, we were using JSON via protocol, but that protocol is completely deprecated. Protocol means certain guidelines are defined by W3C. Selenium is one of the tool, which is our only tool among all the automation tools available in the market, or Selenium family based tools available in the market. They are using W3C certified protocols, not Playwright, not Cypress, or not XYZ tools. That is why Selenium is so popular in the market, is still relevant in the market, because people and the projects and the team, they trust Selenium because these are the W3C certified projects or W3C certified automation tools. So once all these things are done, then we will go to the Selenium next part, like advanced part. So we are going to cover TestNG and Cucumber BDD framework also, both TDD and the BDD, both we are going to cover it over here. So we'll see all the amazing features of TestNG, that how exactly TestNG is working, how exactly n number of features of TestNG. There are some amazing features, some hidden features also there in the TestNG we are going to cover. TestNG is a proper testing framework which can be integrated with the Selenium. So Selenium is interacting with the UI automation, like doing the UI automation, interacting with the web element, and TestNG is helping me to write the test cases. So when I combine them together, it will become a solid UI test automation framework here, right? So I hope you are getting it. TestNG will not interact with the element. Selenium will interact with the element. When you combine them, Selenium cannot test anything. TestNG will validate things for us, right? In the form of assertions and everything. If you really want to maintain the test data, TestNG will help me in the form of data providers. So, and then the same thing with the Cucumber also. Cucumber is also in some projects are very famous. Like, what do you mean by BDD? When to use Cucumber, when not to use Cucumber? What is the misuse of Cucumber? Right? I'm going to cover with JUnit and the TestNG both. How to use different Cucumber plugins, how to generate the report, and then page object model with the Cucumber, all given when, then Gherkin keywords, how to create the feature file. Everything we are going to cover it over here. Proper page object model, end-to-end project. You guys were asking, right? Okay, Naveen, can I show this project in my resume? Of course, you can show it, because now you are aware of it. You have learned about all these things in the training. Then after that, you can show these kind of projects, whatever we are going to develop. So remember, in the automation, we talk about the frameworks, right? Application could be anything, either could be banking application or HR application or anything. End of the day, we have to develop the framework. We have to use a tool with a Java language or any XYZ language, and then we have to write our automation test cases over here. But the technology, like we are going to use Selenium for UI automation, TestNG, Cucumber, let's see, Log4j, Apache POI API, or Allure report, or Extend report, or Chain test report. These are the third party libraries or dependencies we have to use it in our framework. And then after that, we have to design one end-to-end framework for a specific application. So we will pick some really good application like e-commerce. So in the framework, we are going to cover like different design patterns. Let's see, factory pattern, or maybe singleton pattern, or maybe page object model. When to use what, right? What are the guidelines are defined? What is the best practice that we have to follow while designing the framework with the right design pattern? It's not like randomly we are doing and unnecessary we are trying to fit in the framework. No, it's not like that. And trust me, this will be the one of the best frameworks that we are going to develop with the proper design, with the very easy to maintain framework that we can create it, and then it's ready to be used, and then you can use it next day once this framework part is done. Exactly same framework you can implement in your current project also here, right? So now you see that, okay, once all the things are done, Java, Selenium, TestNG, Cucumber, then we are going to cover the framework. Then only we can implement the end-to-end framework. It's not like direct framework that we have to cover it here. It's not like that. So number of framework features that we are going to cover. First, we will pick one real-time web application. It's not like only one login page or one simple home page. No, it's not like that. Proper search functionality, add to cart functionality, product validation, results, search, all those things we are going to cover. Registrations we are going to cover. Forgot password we are going to cover. Like the typical e-commerce application which is there with the shopping, add to cart, purchase the order, and generate the order and generate the email and everything. How to automate in a particular workflow, we are going to cover it here, right? So we are going to implement n number of things like page object model, as I mentioned, data driven approach, right? We are going to use Maven for that. How to read the data from the properties file, how to read the data from the Excel file by using the Apache POI API, right? And then how to create our own runners to run the test cases, to run the framework, and then different assertion logic we are going to write with the TestNG listeners we are going to use it, We are going to use n number of good reports like extend report, LDR report, SNG report. Although extend report is deprecated, but now the replacement of the extend report, I'll update it over here as well. The chain test report in the last project only, in the last bootcamp only, we covered the chain test report. It's amazingly perfect replacement of extend report, super easy to implement that. So we will implement in the framework, proper screenshot logs and everything, we will add it over there. And now the framework part is completely done, guys. Then after that, the DevOps part will come into the picture. In the DevOps, because this is what people, they just learn the design. So let's see, this is my design. But after that, your infrastructure is very, very important here. Infrastructure means like your Jenkins, your GitHub repositories. If I ask you, let's say I'm your team lead, if you're working with me, if I ask you that, hey, you have to implement the CI/CD pipeline. But before that, you have to run the code from the master branch. But before that, please make sure that you are pushing the code to the feature branch. I will approve your PR, or you will approve my PR, or check my PR, and then we will merge it to the main branch and the master branch here. Then we will run the CI/CD pipeline here. Then how will you do this? So if you're not aware about the Git, how to raise a PR, how to, in case of conflicts are happening, then how to resolve those conflicts, how to push, how to pull, how to add, how to commit, right? These things are very, very important, because you are not the only guy working in the automation projects. You have other team members also, right, in the team. Everyone is designing and contributing for the same framework, but working on the different modules. So when all the modules are, getting clubbed together, then the conflicts will happen. Then you have to check their PR. PR means the pull request, or you can say the code review process. You have to check, you have to review their codes, the code is really correct or not, up to the mark or not. Maybe they have deleted some important methods or commands or something like that. Then in that case, you have to raise and give the right feedback to them. So it's not like that, okay, randomly someone is writing the code and then we are pushing code. So this is how the real time things will happen, and this is what majority of the people, they struggle, because they have no idea how to work in real time projects. Okay, so Jenkins is used for the CI/CD pipeline. You can create your job, and there are n number of things in the Jenkins, like Jenkins pipeline with the classic view, Blue Ocean pipeline, Jenkins pipeline syntax like declarative pipeline syntax, how to publish the report like extend report, LR report, SNG report. This is amazing feature that we have added, like GitHub webhook with the ngrok proxy to trigger the build automatically. What does it mean? It means that the moment I push my code, automatically my pipelines will be triggered. This is like there is no manual intervention. The moment I push my code, automatically it will start running my test cases, and then the execution will happen and it will give you the result, how many test cases got passed and failed over here, right? And then the proper Maven lifecycle, the Git part that we have already covered. I'll make you perfect. We have 3 to 4 sessions only for Git. No one will cover Git at this level, guys, to that level. This Git training will help you a lot the way we work in the real time projects, right? And then after that, the proper Maven lifecycle. Like you must have seen that people are creating the jar file or fat jar file or assembly jar files or artifacts and moving the artifacts to the Nexus or JFrog repositories, so that, especially in the big product based company, this is what is happens, that creating a COE or common automation framework, or center of excellence team is creating the common automation framework, and this framework can be used by anyone within the organization. Let's see, if I'm sitting in Bangalore, I'm designing one framework. This framework can be used by OMS team, user management team, Singapore team, US team, or UK team. Anyone can use that particular framework within the organization. They are using my utilities that is developed by me as an architect. So how to develop those utilities, and then how to combine those utilities or bundle those utilities in the form of jar file or fat jar file with the help of Maven lifecycle. This is the proper use of Maven lifecycle, and then we will deploy those jar files to the Nexus deployment using the deployment plugin. Okay, this is what we have to use it here. Then of course we are going to use Selenium Grid with the Docker technology. So that's why we have to learn about the Docker. Amazing technology, super easy to implement that, super fun, super great knowledge and great things or addition in your portfolio, in your profile. That what do you mean by Docker? What do you mean by Docker container? How to create your own Docker images for your framework. And then majorly we are going to cover Selenium Grid configuration on the Docker Hub. It means now we will not say Selenium Grid, we will say Dockerized Grid. Dockerized Grid means that, let's see, this is my Docker, which is a container running on the Linux, and we are sending a request to the server. I mean request to the Docker container, and this is my container, let's see for example, and the test case is happening over here inside the container. And then whatever the reports are coming here, we are taking the report from here, and then we are publishing the report in the Jenkins. So this is what we will do, right? The proper Docker infrastructure. And there are tools available in the market, like you must have heard about Selenoid, not Selenide or Selenium. I'm talking about Selenoid custom grid setup. So this is like very, very important topic. A lot of people are using it in the market these days because Selenium is one of the tool which is available in the market. They provide their own grid. Playwright Cypress, they don't provide any concept of grid. They provide to run the test cases on the cloud or in the parallel mode, but on the cloud. But these are the paid services. But these Selenium grids or Selenoid grids are absolutely free of cost. Absolutely free of cost. You can just use it in your in premises also. You can do that, and then on your cloud also you can set up all those things. So I'll show you how to set up your own infrastructure on the cloud, like set up your own browser lab with different browser versions and everything, and then how to set up that. That's why we have to learn the AWS Amazon Web Services. So yes, we have the use cases for the AWS. What we will do on AWS, we will set up our own account. We will create one EC2 machine or EC2 instance on the AWS. Instance means one machine, virtual machine. We will take it. We will set up the Selenium grid with the help of Docker. That's why this is called Dockerized grid setup on the AWS. And then we will run the Selenium test cases on the AWS machine. And then we will integrate it with the CI/CD pipeline with the Jenkins, right? So what exactly it will happen? This is the code that I'm writing here in my Eclipse or IntelliJ. I'll move my code to my GitHub repository. From the GitHub repository, the code will be given to the Jenkins. Jenkins will take this code and store it in its own workspace. And then we will not run the test cases within the Jenkins. It's a bad practice. We have created our own AWS cloud, and there the Docker is running with the number of browsers and everything with the help of Selenium grid. Let's see, this is my Selenium grid server. Server is connected with the Chrome browser and the Firefox browser. And the moment I try to run my Jenkins job or the pipelines from the Jenkins, okay, let's see, maybe this is my job and the pipeline, it will automatically trigger it, and then it will run my test cases on the Selenium Hub server. So this is the thing, that is what you have to understand that. And here in between, let's see, we have ngrok proxy, which is helping me to connect with the GitHub webhook and then send the request to the proxy. Proxy will send the event request to the Jenkins, and Jenkins will run my test cases, and the test cases are running in Chrome and Firefox over here, getting the reports and publishing the report in the Jenkins here. So this is what you have to learn, end-to-end tools and the technologies here, guys. Okay, it's not like, yeah, the basic stuff. I just created one basic page object model or basic core features of Selenium and then done. No. People are really interested that how will you perform the real-time automation? How will you set up your own infrastructure? It's not about only designing the things. It's all about how will you integrate your test cases with the pipeline, with the Jenkins or GitHub Actions or any kind of pipeline that you are using it. And then how are you running your test cases on the infrastructure? This is the most important part here, right? It's not like every time you are going to run your test cases in your local, in your Eclipse or in your IntelliJ only. No, right? Because other four people are also working, so we have to combine the code, move it to the Git, and through the Jenkins. Every at the global level we are running our test cases, at the org level we are running the test cases here. So this is what the real time learning, proper infrastructure setup, DevOps or test ops activities, we have to perform it here. So I'm not covering, like right now, I'm not going through each and every bullet point. You can just go through it. But other than that, there are a number of things also there that we will cover when we actually cover in the proper session with a very detailed way. We are going to cover it here. Now, quickly, that what will happen every day after every day session? Yes, every day you will get the recording. If you are having slightly time crunch or not able to attend the specific session or something like that, within 2-3 hours you will get your recording on the same day with the proper notes, with the proper code and everything, with the lifetime access. And then you can just watch the recording after that anytime, right? 4 days in a week. So let's say if you are in India, Monday to Thursday, for US, for Sunday to Wednesday. 4 day you practice, because training, regular training will give you the pressure. It will make you disciplined. You will be regular in the training, right? You will be like practicing every day in that case. So this is how we learn. Otherwise, what will happen that here and there we just randomly picking any topic from YouTube or anywhere, but you're not able to concentrate. So that is a major advantage of the live training. And the most important advantage is the doubt clearing. We take a lot of doubt sessions, and every day we have a doubt session. After the session, we take all the doubts. You can share your screen, you can unmute yourself, you can explain that, okay, Naveen, this is not working in my system. Can you please help me in the installation part or any coding part or anything? Yes, every day you will get the doubt, and it's good that you are getting the doubt. It means you are practicing it. It's not like, okay, no one is there to help you to resolve your queries or resolve your questions. So, this is the most important part with the bootcamp. Okay, so trust me, I'm sure this will help you a lot to get your some really good offers from the market. Market is slightly good. I'm not saying it's really bad or really good, but market is always up and running for the Selenium Java based profiles. And then once Selenium Java part is completely done or something like that, maybe then after 6 months or 1 year, you can think about if you really need to add Playwright or Cypress also later on, you can add it here. But right now, according to the current market situation, according to the current job market situation, you see that you can see these surveys also, polls also, and on social media also, on LinkedIn also, you'll see that so many surveys are available. Everyone is preferring Selenium as compared to other automation tools. And in fact, this is my opinion also for that. So try that, and you can enroll for it. You can go through this. I'll share this link and the registration link in the description of the video, the first comment of this video. Let me know in case of any issues in the comment section, and then looking forward, and I'm sure this will be the one of the best boot camp that we have done so far. Although all boot camps are amazingly greatly happened, but I'm sure that okay this time because we have added some extra things or extra stuff, and we will surely do that. Okay. So with this note, thank you so much, and keep watching Naveen Automation Labs in that case.